US President Donald Trump is standing firm on tariffs, refusing to back down despite turmoil in the markets.
It's the only chance our country will have to reset the table, because no other president would be willing to do what I'm doing or to even go through it. Now, I don't mind going through it because I see a beautiful picture at the end.
A beautiful picture. He can see it. We'll wait and see. I asked Kristin Tate to give us a sense of how this is all going down in the US, given the president's plan was to bolster the American economy.
Yeah, the best way to think about the tariffs here in America is short-term pain for long-term gain. The same economists who are shrieking on the media today about the markets have been assuring us for decades, Chris, that we'd all be better off getting hooked on cheap goods from other countries, even if it erodes our national security and destroys American industrialization, and even if those other countries close their own markets off to us. It turns out those economists were wrong. The killing of America and of America's industry has just destroyed millions of high-paying American jobs, which did not require high levels of education. That's been disastrous for inequality in this country. But it's not just jobs that we have lost, Chris. It's entire U.S. cities. Swaths of this country that were proud to produce airplanes and steel are now known for opioid overdoses. And for what? All for cheap goods and globalization.
But this has been the way of the world over the last 20, 30, 50, the post-world economic boom, really. Australia's been through all this. We used to have tariffs protecting so many industries here. We've lost our auto industry. We've lost our clothing and footwear industry. We've lost our white goods industry. But we do get all of these goods into this country cheaper than we ever did. And we've developed other industries. And certainly America's done that too. America hasn't missed out on the economic boom times of the last couple of decades, and you just got to think about Meta and Microsoft and Apple and Google. America's dominated the world in all these new industries.
Well, this has certainly allowed American elites to do well. They're doing just fine. But I'm telling you, Chris, it has destroyed middle America and low-educated workers. Anyone can just Google, if the streets of Philadelphia, look at what's going on there. These cities throughout the middle of the country, they are decimated. And not to mention our national security. The one thing these economists who are melting down today never want to mention is our national security. We've already exported most of the industrial capacity that allowed us to win World War II. There is no way we could actually fight such a war against an industrial powerhouse like China. I mean, we don't even make semiconductors in this country anymore. So that's another aspect of this that needs to be discussed. But of course, tariffs are likely just a short-term tool. We need to be thinking long-term about these problems.
Yeah, well, that's my hope, is that this whole tariff ploy leads to a reduction of trade barriers and tariffs by other countries, and then Donald Trump pulling his barriers down. That's certainly the attitude of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his meeting in the White House today. Have a look.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers.
Yeah, so essentially he's going to buy more stuff from the US and sell less. But Australia, as you know, Kristin, we have a trade deficit with the US. You send us more stuff than we sell to you, yet we've been caught up in this as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see dozens of nations lining up to negotiate fair trade deals with Trump in the weeks ahead, certainly, especially our allies like Australia. And we've already seen this starting to happen. Israel is a great example of that. Don't forget, the United States makes up 25% of the world economy. So for nations that have been exporting to us, like Mexico and China, some of these places are completely dependent on the United States for their economic survival. I mean, if China doesn't have access to our market, their population becomes jobless. This could lead to mass social unrest and even maybe the end of the Communist Party in China. But I also want to point out, the media is saying right now that Trump started a trade war. Trump did not start this trade war. This has been going on for 80 years. Even Obama and even Biden, they talked all the time about our trade imbalances. It's just that Trump is the only one who has stood up and really fought back and done something about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's no doubt that China's trade practices have been overly restrictive. They've taken the rest of the world on a ride, and there's no doubt that someone had to hit back. It's just nobody was expecting anybody to hit back this strongly, with this firmly with tariffs. So we'll see where it all plays out. These things are often a cycle of overreaction and correction. So we'll see how it plays out. But the good news is, when you talk about overreaction, there is a lot of fear in global markets and people looking at their local economies right around the world. When we confront fear and we're a little bit worried about what's going on, we look to somebody wise, someone with some inspirational words who can put it all into context for us. And luckily, Kamala Harris has done that for us.
Fear has a way of being contagious. Yeah. And we are witnessing that, no doubt. But I say this also, my dear friends, courage is also contagious. Courage is also contagious.
We are so lucky to still have Kamala Harris in these troubled times, Kristin. Tell me she's going to run for the Democrats in 3 years' time.
Oh, I hope so. But yes, this was another speech from Kamala where she said lots of words that meant very little. She went on and on, stating brainless cliches like, fear is contagious, followed by these long pauses. But the crowning jewel of her speech, I watched the whole thing, was where she said, make sure you all take care of yourself because self-care is so important. She's just so embarrassing. Americans wish she would just go away. But unfortunately, the last line of her speech was, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, I just wish Kamala would go away, but
yeah,
like she's sticking around.
It's a pity that her version of self-care doesn't involve getting the hell out of politics. So we'll see what happens. And just an update on the current incumbent, of course, President Donald Trump. He's taken to Truth Social to tell us all that he's pleased to report his long-scheduled annual physical examination is going to be happening at the Walter Reed Medical Centre on Friday. He's never felt better, he told us. He tells us, but he's going to make sure this thing is done. Typical of Trump, getting out ahead of the media, making sure there's no concerns about his health. He looks pretty fit to all of us. Thanks for joining us, Kristin. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you, Chris.